Before we get into the Cavs reactions today, it's winners take all time in the NBA, NHL, and FanDuel is giving you a shot to bring home a big win of your own. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. It's $150 if you to bet on spreads, money lines, player props, and all things more. Visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to make every playoff shot count. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook.
Guys, it's easy to get, I'm no stranger to getting worked up and screaming and yelling and being angry. But the reality is what happened last night was exactly what I expected to happen. The Celtics are more rested. They're at home. They're a far superior team. And even though they have a big injury with Porzingis, so do the Cavs with Jarrett Allen. The game went about like I expected. There was never a moment, and I because I was at Little League, I didn't get to see the first quarter, but I was going to go back and watch it, but it was a 25-point blowout, so what was the point? But from the second quarter on that I watched, there was never, for me, a moment in that game. Because remember, the first quarter was crazy, obviously 40-34, and the Celtics, I think, had like a 7-0 run or
to start the second
quarter. Neither team really scored much after that in that quarter. But from that point, like from this, I turned it on when the Celtics run that run to start the second quarter. There was never a moment. The Cavs kept cutting it 9, 10. I don't know if it was maybe 10. Yeah. 10, 11, 12.
Never got it single digits.
Right, it was always between 10 and 12. There was never a moment that I thought the Cavs had any chance of winning that game. Did you?
No.
Not really. It was crazy. I tweeted this out last night. The Cavs played an almost perfect offensive first quarter.
Yeah.
They made 6 threes in the first quarter.
Right.
They
did not. Coro hit 3.
They did not turn the ball over once in the first quarter.
Right.
They scored 34 points.
Yes.
Take the opponent out of the equation. That was their best offensive quarter of the playoffs.
By far, right?
And they trailed by 6. Yes.
Yes.
And that's the reality of the series that the Cavs are facing when they play the Boston Celtics. To beat Boston, the Cavs are going to have to play a damn near perfect game and hope Boston doesn't make shots. Boston ended up making 18 threes. They shot about 39%, right around their season averages.
Yeah.
They didn't have a great shooting night. Derek White shot great. Jaylen Brown
White
shot great.
And Brown. That was really
Jason Tatum did not play particularly well last night, and they still scored 120 points. And we'll get into the minutia of the game in a sec, but just from the big picture standpoint, the Cavs are going to have to make a ton more shots. They need players other than Donovan Mitchell to step up and score the ball at a consistent rate. And they're going to need to find ways to slow down Boston because last night was a microcosm of what could be a big picture of this series, which is what we knew going into it. Boston had more talent. They are a better and deeper roster. And unless the Cavs can find some sort of magic formula, they're going to have their hands full from the game 2 all the way to whenever the series ends, whether it's in 4, 5, 6, or 7.
Everything watching that game, and I haven't watched the Celtics that much this year. Obviously, we've seen them a little. Everything looks, and it's not, but everything looks so easy for the Celtics on offense. For the Cavs, everything's a struggle. Every Donovan Mitchell basket, and he's playing his ass off, right?
33.
He's going down to the end of the shot clock. He's making these crazy shots.
Yeah.
He's magnificent. But everything's hard for the Cavs on offense. Everything is easy for the Celtics on offense. Does it look that way to you, too?
Yeah, I tweeted both what you just said. I tweeted, they were like, wow, G. Bush is being positive on Twitter for once. I said, I thought they had a real nice first quarter. I thought they did what they needed. They hit threes. They didn't let the Celtics get out to a really big lead or a really big spurt. I thought they played well. But on the other end of the court, they didn't play at all. Straight drives, straight line drives to the basket, guys helping off guys that for no reason, late on closeouts. And when you look at the rest of the game, as they started to stretch their legs a little bit, you started to see the difference. It's levels to this thing, right? And when you start to see them in the second half, you're like, the Celtics wasn't even breaking a sweat. They wasn't trying. Now I won't say trying because I want to be very clear today. I don't want to be hyperbole guy. I want to be very clear about the differences. They got their shots to their spots, and they got there with ease, with no sweat. The Cavs, every single thing, I laughed and joked. I said, the Cavs are breaking their necks just to take tough contested shots.
Yeah.
And if you got...
Can I actually push back on that a little bit? I actually think the Cavs got a decent number of good looks last night.
Yeah.
They shot 43s. Boston cross-matched Tatum and Horford on defense. They had Horford guard Isaac Okoro. and they had Tatum guard Evan Mobley. Now, the reason they did that, and we're going to break this a little more down in depth later on the Ultimate Cavs show today, is they didn't want the Cavs to go to their bread and butter, which is the high pick and roll, because if they did it with Mobley and Tatum as his defender, the Celtics just switch that, and then you have Tatum on Mitchell, and then you have whoever's guarding Mitchell, who ended up being White, Holiday. They kept switching. But it ended up getting the mismatch you wanted. So they started screening with Isaac Okoro. And then Horford was playing in drop coverage. They had a bunch of looks. They just got to make the shots. Now,
yeah, but Mike, you've been saying they're not going to make the shots.
Well, that's my point.
They're not good shooters.
No,
we found that out.
Yeah.
That's my point. The reason Boston's offense looks so easy to get shots is they have 5 guys who at any point in the game, even last night when Jason Tatum's not making shots and Drew Holiday's not making them at a 40% clip like he did in the regular season, you have to respect. Even Al Horford, who's Al Horford, he's 55 freaking years old. He was drafted in like 1938.
Yeah.
Is still a 41% three-point shooter.
Right. But Tatum and Horford were 1 for 10 from 3.
They still
and they won by 25.
And that's my point. They still draw the
Ain't no
respect.
Porzingis.
The reason the Celtics get so many open looks is you're scared to help off anybody.
Right.
And they drive and kick. And last night, with just Mobley on the court, there was no rim protection.
Right.
So they were just getting easy drives. Eventually, when they're getting easy drives, you have to collapse.
Yeah.
They kick out, it puts the Cavs in rotation. On the flip side, the Celtics just don't respect Mobley. They don't respect
anybody
Okoro.
except for
Mitchell.
Donovan. That's it.
That's the issue. It's a roster construction issue, it's an execution issue, and it's frankly an issue of not generating enough looks in the half court when the defense is actually set.
You're a guard. You played, right? Your coach probably told you when you're at the point of attack and you are a guard, you can't consistently rely on rim protectors because you're getting beat off the dribble every single play. Like when you get 2 feet in the paint, it's dead. You're done because now it's rotate. Basketball moves faster than people. Guess what? Guys are going to be open and they're going to knock down those shots at a high rate. For us, and to Bull's point, I think it's time that we start. We heard all year it's a make or miss league, right? And I can understand if you shoot a couple games poorly. But when you continually shoot game after game after game after game poorly, I have to believe what I'm seeing. And what I'm seeing consistently is weak. Strus is not a good shooter.
Yeah, he's struggling. He's
Not what matters.
George Niang is not a good shooter.
He's useless.
Yeah.
Like Isaac
Irrelevant.
We can say, hey, we had some good looks, but are those looks good because you taking them, or are they good looks because you think that they giving you those? The Celtics is like, oh, that's a good look. Well, if that's your best look, take that.
Right now, teams that are playing the Cavs, and obviously at the moment it's the Celtics, they're saying they have no concern about anybody but Donovan Mitchell. That's it. They know the rest of the guys can't beat them. They're not worried about any of the rest of the guys. Like, when you play the Celtics, forget even White or Porzingis. Like, you know that Tatum and Brown are studs. Yeah. And you're concerned with them every time they touch the ball, and they can take it to the basket and dunk it in your grill every time they get the ball, and you are worried about them all the time. And that obviously opens things up for everybody else, because you got 2 guys that you are scared of because they can do everything on the court. The Cavs only have one of those guys.
And not just
Darius Garland is not. Now, I still think Darius Garland is a better player than he's played. I think, to me, the difference between Darius Garland and Mobley, and we'll get into that more later, but I think Darius Garland he's first of all, he's never going to be Tatum or Brown. We know that. Yeah. But Darius Garland is a good player having a bad season, in my opinion. Good, not a great player. I think Evan Mobley's a complete fraud.
He's a good defender.
And but see, I even think he's fraudulent defensively against good teams, because they were freaking bullying him all night last night. And I don't care about his points. Those are the most empty points. He scored them all in the fourth quarter, pretty much.
10 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, the game was over. I don't want to hear about his points. He is a fraudulent player. There's no way this guy's going to become as good as we had hoped. No chance.
Do you want to do the Mobley stuff now?
Let's do it. We're already in there. We'll get to the rebounds after.
We get to the play real quick. So Mobley had a good fourth quarter. Now, granted, it's a 30-point blowout.
Garbage time. Yeah.
The Cavs, I'm making a big picture to come back. The Cavs need him to play with that aggression from the jump in games 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, however long it goes. He can't wait till they're down 30, because he did it in Game 7 against Orlando. All his points, he had 2 points. 2 through the first 3 quarters. Or 4, 2 or 4, whatever it was. And finishes with 13, 14 to make it look better. He can't wait till the game is out of hand to find his voice, essentially, to find his aggression. There were on multiple occasions yesterday where he got the ball in the first, second, and third quarter within 5 feet of the bucket and refuses to shoot. And that drives me absolutely up a wall.
Yeah.
Because the people defending him, let me check this. Let me check the notes. It's not Bill Russell.
Yeah.
It's not Wemby. It's not Gobert. It's 52-year-old Al Horford and Luke Kornet.
Right.
I don't
played well, Luke Kornet, by the way.
Luke
Kornet.
That's my point.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the text I sent to y'all last night, but the fact that I'd even asked that question says
it's crazy.
enough.
Well, even by the way, I liked the broadcast. I thought it was Brian Anderson.
Greg Anthony did
Greg
a
Anthony's
great
really
job.
good.
Great
I like
job.
that. Greg Anthony, by the way, low key sounds like Solomon Wilcots. If you know Solomon Wilcots, if you know, you know.
A little
they kind of sound a little like, even though they're not from the same place, because I think Solomon's from the South and Greg Anthony, I believe, is from. Oh no, Greg Anthony's from the South too.
I think
Greg
so, yeah.
Anthony's from Las Vegas.
Oh, I thought Greg Anthony was from.
Well, he played at
Georgia.
He played at UNLV.
He's from out west.
Anyway,
it doesn't matter.
The point is, Greg Anthony was like, when Mobley finally had like a dunk or something, he's like, why is he head faking? Remember when he said that late in the game? He's like, what is he doing there?
Pull up the video.
We're ready, Mike. Whenever you are.
So these are two examples real quick.
Yeah.
This was in the first quarter. He has it 3 feet from the bucket, kicks out to a core who did make 2 threes already at that point. But when you're this close, that has to be a shot attempt.
What are you doing?
I don't care.
Jam the freaking ball.
That's got to be a shot attempt. In the first offensive possession or second offensive possession of the game for the Cavs, they get the switch. They get Mobley on Derek White.
Oh my God.
This has to be 2 points. Now, the shot clock's running down. He ends up getting blocked by Tatum. Do you know why that play looks so familiar? It's the exact same play they ran and the exact same move he went to against Cole Anthony against Orlando. The difference against Boston is A, Derek White's a bigger defender, and B, unlike Orlando in Game 1, Boston just came off and helped.
Yeah.
He's going 1-on-3. I understand the shot clock's running down. He's 2 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah.
Watch how Orlando tries to help. They don't send anybody. They say, okay, we're going to let you go one-on-one with the guard. Boston says, we're not going to let you have that easy ability to collapse. They bring 2 guys down. When he gets the ball that close, it has to be 2 points. It has to be 2 points or at least a better look for the Cavs. Now, in the fourth quarter, he was more aggressive. He gets credit for scoring 10 points in the fourth quarter.
I give him no credit for that.
Even though it's out, at least he showed the aggression.
How can you give him credit for that? Do you give him any credit for that?
Nah.
But
that was garbage time.
He didn't pump. And I have the tag where it's the one I sent you.
Mike, here's what.
You would say in the fourth, you could watch. You could take it full, and I'm going to talk over it. Like, he didn't do that in the fourth quarter. When he tried to get aggressive, he has a little pump fake on the first one, the next 4 buckets. But, that's the same spot he had against Derek White earlier in the first.
Yeah.
Refused to go up strong with it. These next ones are better moves, but there's no hesitation. So I'm just saying from a mental standpoint, it's good to see that we know he has it in him. But when he catches it 3 feet from the bucket, he has to get a shot up.
The same thing's going to happen the next game. He's going to do nothing early,
and then
when it's garbage time and everybody's like, okay, the game's over, that's what he's going to do.
I'm not defending Mobley. I'm just pointing out it's in there.
Yeah.
It just has to, and maybe it's coaching. I'm not sure if it's confidence. It can't wait till you're down 20 points in the fourth.
I
to bring that
understand,
out.
Mike, that guys can get better. I get it. Guys get better as your career goes. But here's the bottom line. Guys either have that dog in them or they don't.
Yeah, he doesn't.
And he doesn't.
No,
it's so clear. You can't coach that.
No.
That can't get better. Your skills can get better if you work hard. Your shooting can get better. You don't become the guy. This is my effing house. You know what I mean?
Well, here's what happened. And let me take a step back from it because it's frustrating. Because I know what I see it happen. In this city, we've been, once LeBron won and we had LeBron here, they say, oh, G. Bush, you're going to the LeBron take. But this is 100% factual. Once LeBron left for the second time, we felt like, yes, we have our championship. We had our window. Cool. We're going to build it up with players that want to be here. We're going to build it back up and get back to a championship level with the guys that we put here, that we drafted, that got a new vibe, new attitude, and it's fresh. It means a lot. You heard Darius Garland talk about it's important for us to do it without LeBron. Well, here's the problem. When you want something so bad, we want more players. We want guys that want to be here. We want guys that are the next wave to say that we're a championship caliber team, homegrown, that we've overestimated. We've overvalued the talent that these guys actually have. We made Mobley be unicornish. There was nothing about his offensive game that's unicornish.
We didn't make him. The Cavs made him.
The Cavs did.
The Cavs came out on draft night and touted him
when
as
Jason
unicorn.
Lloyd says under no circumstances that Mobley can be traded for what? If I'm looking at Chet Holmgren, if I'm looking at Wemby, if I'm looking at Ben Carroll, if I'm looking at all these others, I could even say Jalen Suggs. I can look at all of these different guys that came in the league after you. You don't have a go-to post move. When they throw you the ball on the post, you can't do a simple a drop step. Your jump hook is not there. You miss layups and chippies. Like, you good defensively. I'll give you that. But no unicorn is a one-trick pony, a defensive player that's a rotational guy that can help block shots. That's good, but not great. You take that and you put that together with the fact you overvalued Max Strus. Max Strus has been a zero. He is a bench role guy. He is a rec league player. He is not a starter. There nothing about him. He can't shoot. He's not athletic. He's not big. He's not long. He's not a defender. He's not quick. He don't jump high. What are you seeing in Max Strus? You just like him? That's a zero on the court. Then you got Darius Garland, who feels like I don't think he's even in this realm. He don't even understand it's the playoffs. He's running around just smiling and grinning, and you putting up 14 points. And you supposedly our second best player. So my thing is, no, we just want them to be good. Do you see what they doing out there? What Ant is doing in Minnesota? This is, Cat ain't even a top 20 player, but you see what he doing? We don't have the dogs, man. We ain't got it, and we definitely don't have the coach. Because McNuggets just said with the Celtics, they coming out with the mismatches. They said, "Oh, y'all got one play pick and roll. We gonna switch all that up. Get that up out of here." And we sitting here like this. Again, it's just, and I'm not trying to be a vitriol. I'm just saying, we've wished way too hard.
Yeah.
We just don't have the dogs. Boo.
And the Celtics have all these guys, and this, like, again, we can't be surprised. We can be
salty.
and I mostly agree with what G said about the makeup of the roster. We in Cleveland tend to there's been so much losing in this town,
right?
That when there's any glimmer of winning, we can tend to overrate it sometimes
because we're competitive.
Right.
You don't want to sound crazy and kill them because they did win the first round series and they are competitive in games. But
look at the Celtics bench guys. Like, these guys all come in and they're contributing.
Beating the Magic doesn't change the overall questions we're gonna have about this team.
Oh no.
After the season ends, whenever it ends up ending, like the questions we had entering the playoffs. I don't think we got a single answer versus Orlando.
None.
I don't think we're going to get an answer versus the Celtics.
No.
So we're going to have, and I don't disagree with a lot of what G said. I'm just going to wait till the season's over to have some of those conversations because it's 1-0. The series, I still don't think the Cavs are going to win the series, but it wouldn't be completely absurd. And maybe it wouldn't be completely absurd.
They'll still might win a game
that's
home.
my point.
They still might win a game
I just don't want to push
the
the cart before the wagon or whatever that saying is.
For the horse.
The horse. Because it's one game in a game we all expected them to lose. It wasn't like they were the 12-point favorites and got blown out.
Yeah.
They were 12-point underdogs, and then Boston doubled that. So think about that. Like they were historic.
Well, 13.5-point dogs now for game 2.
I'm not taking the Cavs.
No, how could you?
Like I don't feel comfortable in that.
It's like one of them things where it's like now you have to come up with things like, okay, in what conceivable universe could the Cavs beat them? Like, what do they have to do to beat them in game 2?